Evening, everyone. I must say I've had a wonderful weekend of rugby. So this weekend there wasn't a first team game because it should have been a cup competition, and unfortunately we got knocked out a couple of weeks ago. So I went along to go and watch and support the second team yesterday. Absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Not the greatest game of rugby I've ever seen in my life, if I'm honest with you. But good to see kind of the boys really dig in, have a go against a really well drilled, really well put together team who we know have played together for a long time, and you can see that sort of cohesion in the opposition. It was great to kind of see the boys kind of come out and really give it a go. Lots of things kind of against them, but they really put in a big fight and really dug in as well. And I really enjoyed the game. I think the few things to kind of look at, although I wasn't there in a coaching capacity over the weekend, I was there just to kind of watch. And like I said in one of my other videos, just there to kind of see if there's anybody around that might be ready to kind of step up into that first team environment where it becomes a little bit more serious. I was really proud to see actually that team set up in the structures that we've been working on as a club and in training. And it comes back to one of those things I mentioned in terms of a culture within a club and within a side. And as a coach, that's really important, but also it's really a proud moment to see. Traditionally, second team, third team, fourth team rugby can be very unstructured. It's kind of all over the place. And one thing that we really wanted to work on this year was actually having a structure in place that all the teams can play. Because then when you end up sort of inevitably moving between teams, you know what's happening. You don't have to learn things kind of on the run. And obviously, with second team rugby and third team rugby, there's a lot more freedom. There's a lot more, oh, well, he's the best player, so let's just throw him the ball, that kind of happens. But it was really interesting to kind of see that side of rugby as well, kind of having the freedom to have a go, using your skills. But I think it was the frustrating point for me. And like I said, I tried not to get involved yesterday at all. I wasn't there as a coach, but I am there as sort of a fan of the club and just wanting to kind of see what happens. The frustrating bit yesterday was, I don't know if anybody else has kind of come across this, but we seem to have an ingrained sort of kick first mentality. And not just our teams, but also other teams that I've seen. And whether or not that kind of starts with the professional teams and works its way down. I think everybody kind of ends up watching YouTube highlight reels of brilliant like chips over the top where the ball bounces back into the hand and they score under the post, and everybody's trying to recreate that. I think it's really important to remember that the most important thing on a rugby field is the ball. And for me personally, it is hold on to that ball when you have it and respect it when you have it. Let's not just throw it away willy-nilly. There is a real art between playing boring rugby and throwing the ball around like you've lost your head, basically. There is a real fine balance between an Irish style of professional rugby and a Fijian style of professional rugby. But you don't have to only just play one way. You can incorporate it. But one really important thing is you need to train it. You can't just do everything off the cuff as well. And I think one thing that everybody forgets is you need to win the ball back. You need to earn the right to win the ball back by hitting the opposition, rucking as hard as you can, counter-rucking, jackling, all that sort of stuff. And some of that was done yesterday. Some of it wasn't done yesterday. But I think it's really important to remember as a coach and as a player that you can't just focus on attack. You've got to focus on defence as well. And defence isn't just about stopping people score against you. It is about winning the ball back, getting the ball back as soon as you can, stopping them have it, yes. But then when you have possession, sort of respecting that ball. Don't just think, oh, we need to score now, or, oh, brilliant, yeah, there's nobody home, I'm going to chip it over the top. If you can, brilliant. But also, if you're going to take that gamble, you need to execute it. And unfortunately, yesterday, a couple of bounces of the balls just didn't quite go their way. But I must really, really say that today I've had a fantastic day. So for our club, we made a bit of history today. We had our first ever women's game down at the club. And it was absolutely brilliant. Loads of the boys went down to go and support. There was loads of sort of supporters there from both sides. A lot of the people playing on that pitch today, it was their first time of ever playing rugby, and it was fantastic. And actually, when I was stood there watching it, it really kind of brought home that rugby is a simple game. And I think one thing that we do badly in terms of sort of the men's game and in terms of sort of the teams that I coach and some of the teams that I've been in is that we try and overcomplicate rugby. We try and do things really fancy. And actually today, some of those people on that pitch have never really picked up a rugby ball before. I think there was one lady I was speaking to at the end who said that was her third time of ever playing, training, or that was her first ever game. So she'd been to training a couple of times and then got talked into playing. And it was brilliant. The opposition, they had obviously decided that they didn't want to have lineouts because lineouts were too complicated. They didn't really know what they were doing at a lineout. So every penalty that was given, they tapped it and they ran. And it really hit home this idea that rugby boils down to really simple things. If you have the ball and you run harder than the person's trying to tackle you is willing to hit you, you make meters, you keep going forward. And if your teammates are willing to run and support you more aggressively than the opposition are trying to compete, you will keep going forward. And it boils down to really simple things. It is run hard, hit hard, compete hard. And what was really fascinating was the rucks they were so fast because nobody was trying to dive over the top. Nobody was trying to compete. There was one or two players who could compete that knew what they were doing, and they kind of caused havoc at some of the rucks that they were at. But it was absolutely brilliant to kind of see that support. But really, for me, it boiled it down to the fact that actually rugby is really simple. And sometimes I think as coaches and as players, especially in the men's sort of side of the sport, we're trying to outdo each other and outthink each other. And sometimes when you've got the ball in your hands, just run hard. Run really hard. And run at a gap if you can. And if there's no gap there, run as hard as you can at that person that you think is trying to tackle you. And in defence, the person with the ball is the danger. Hit the person with the ball if they are in front of you. And rugby can boil down to really simple aspects of it. And I really enjoyed that about today. It was fantastic. It was a really proud moment for the club. It was really great to see those guys have a great time out on a Sunday afternoon. And I think all of those boys really enjoyed it as well. There was lots of laughing and joking from us about the boys taking notes and learning from the girls. And actually, genuinely, I think they can learn some of the stuff, especially with that tackle technique. So thank you everybody so much who pulled on a shirt today and yesterday. I really enjoyed kind of seeing it, and I did take quite a lot of things to implement in training and learn from over these next couple of weeks.